And we're on lap 25, and that is Ron McElney. The camera jinx, I regret to say, has struck again. Both bikes which carried cameras have been down in this race. First of all, Ron Haslam, and now Rob McElney, who's had the misfortune to have a lot of falling off from the bike last year in particular when it was a Yamaha, and now he's off in his home Grand Prix, which is a very unhappy experience for him, because his highest finish so far this year was in Belgium, where he took 6th position, and he's now out of the British Grand Prix. And we are on lap 25, and look at the battle that continues between Wayne Gardner, number 1, Honda, as they go into the S's, and he is just ahead of C.Sarron, and Roger Burnett is on his way too. We're getting some changes because Burnett is ahead of Didier de Radiguez. Race order on lap 25 as you watch the battle for second between Gardner and Sarron is Rainey leading Gardner second, Sarron third, Mackenzie fourth, McGee fifth, Lawson sixth, Burnett seventh, de Radiguez eighth, Chile ninth, Tyra 10th, Namela 11th, and Fujiwara, the Japanese 500cc champion of this year and last year, is in 10th place. There's the confirmation of that fastest lap so far by C.Sarron, who is the second of these two riders. So if he is still behind Wayne Gardner, Wayne must be lapping within a fraction of a second of the same speed.
I think what you're seeing now is Wayne has settled for second place because he's nearly 10 seconds behind Rainey. So he's done the sensible thing. He's just circulating with C.Sarron, and then you'll find with a couple of laps to go he'll light the fire up again and just pull out enough distance on Christian. He's not too worried. He knows he can't catch Rainey, and it would be silly to try. So why wear yourself out, wear your tyres out, when you can have a sensible ride and finish second?
And they lap Fabio Bigliotti. You saw Wayne Rainey doing so a little while ago. Now both Gardner in second place and Sarron lap Bigliotti, the ex-European champion in the 500cc class. And if he finishes in second, as he shows every sign of doing, Wayne Gardner will have closed the gap in the World Championship between himself and Lawson, who is currently in 6th position, by 7 points. Every little helps. The gap will come down to 18 points, in which case, if Lawson had trouble in just one race and failed to finish, and Wayne Gardner won, the Australian could be back in the World Championship lead. But such is the reliability of modern racing motorcycles at this level that it's very unlikely that a mechanical defect would put Lawson out. And we're on lap 27 now, just 3 laps to go at the end of this one, in what has been, from the start to this point, a demonstration of how to do it by the leader, Wayne Rainey. The American from Los Angeles, a Kenny Roberts protege. Here he is. He switched from a 4-stroke on which he won the 8-hour race at Suzuka in Japan last weekend, a Yamaha, to a 2-stroke. And I imagine it's not all that easy to switch from one to the other.
No, it isn't. He's ridden 4 strokes for the past 4 or 5 years in America. In a way, it'd be really nice to see Rainey win this GP, because he was so close, came so close to winning the Portuguese Grand Prix, and Eddie Lawson passed him with 2 laps to go, and he really did deserve the win, and he's been riding exceptionally well. When you bear in mind, Murray, that he is just about the only guy in Japan at the beginning of the year. He fell off in practice for the Grand Prix. Other than that, he hasn't crashed at all, and he's the only one of the top chaps that hasn't crashed. So in this day and age, when the competition is so hard, it's a real achievement.
Another interesting technical point of modern motorcycle racing is that I was talking to a Formula One Grand Prix engineer the other day, and he said, I've been trying to get curved radiators and was told that it wasn't possible. And I went to a motorcycle race recently, this chap said, and the works Yamahas have got curved radiators. So there is something interesting, and here is the race leader. Well, very crestfallen, downcast Rob McElhenney. Things really haven't been going very well for him for the last couple of years, and they certainly haven't here. Well, was it the camera again? We've seen it happen in Formula One Grand Prix racing. Haslam's gone off, and now McElhenney's gone off. But Wayne Rainey certainly hasn't, and he is on his 28th lap and not so far from the end of it, over the crest. This is where they drop down here. Watch the forks compress as the brakes go on and the weight is transferred forward. He runs wide. He can really take things very easily now with just 3 laps to go after he has crossed the line, which he does now. 3 laps to go. 7.5 miles between the first Grand Prix victory ever for Wayne Rainey. He has got a commanding 9.41 seconds lead over Wayne Gardner, who seems to have settled for second place. Just 2, he's on his last lap at 2, he's on lap 29 now, so he's got 2 laps to go, including this one. So even less than I said, 5 miles, 5.2 miles. Not that he'll be counting, of course. Barry, how much intelligence do you get from the pits? I know in the cars they have radios and they have conversations. They certainly don't have in the bikes. But what about pit signals?
Yeah, they've got all the monitors from the timekeepers, so they can see the how many laps there are to go, Murray, and also they can see the gap between the riders. I was just looking down and looking at Rainey's pit signal, and it says exactly the same as we're getting on the monitor. So I would imagine they're just looking on the screen. Nasty old situation there for Rainey, because all he has to do is just watch his P's and Q's for the last couple of laps, and you have to be so careful with the back markers because it's so easy. You come up against a back marker and all they want to do is race with you, and it's brainless people like that that really give you the needle. So you just have to be really on the ball. He's got virtually 10 seconds lead, so he's basically got it in the bag, and he's starting his last lap, so all he has to do is stay as he is.
Interestingly, the man he's just passed is his countryman Mike Baldwin, who has been a works rider and finished 4th in the World Championship in 1984. But now here is the magnificent Wayne Rainey on his Team Roberts 2-stroke 4-cylinder V4 Yamaha. He's on his last lap. He is under Starkey's Bridge. He's on his way to McLean's now. Out from McLean's to Coppice to get 20 points to add to the 143 that he already has in the World Championship, to give him 163. It won't move him up into second position, but it will make him that much closer to Wayne Gardner, who will continue to hold second position behind Eddie Lawson, who will continue to hold the World Championship lead. But it is getting much, much closer at the front, and totally against expectations. The World Championship could be going right down to the last race of the year in Argentina on September the 17th. But as far as Rainey is concerned, this is the one that matters. He's cresting the rise. He is going into Goddard's. This is the last corner of the last lap. Wayne Rainey is about to see the checkered flag for the first time up on the rest. And a banzai wave. Well done, Wayne Rainey. He's really happy about that. Gardner finishes in second position. C.Sarron finishes in 3rd place. First, second and third home. Yamaha's 1st and 3rd. Honda in 2nd position. In 4th position, Britain's Neil Mackenzie. We're waiting for the 5th place man, Kevin McGee, to come through now on his Yamaha. And he's still not through. The first 4 are home. Kevin McGee is still to finish. Yes, here he is. Kevin McGee finishes. So it's Australians in 2nd and 5th places. And in 6th position, Eddie Lawson, the World Championship leader. But there's the man. Wayne Rainey. No words of mine can add to his enjoyment, or the crowds, I think, because they recognise a good ride when they see one, and he really is overjoyed. And I can tell you that there is an absolute roar of approval. So the story of the 1988 Shell Oil's 500cc British Grand Prix is really the story of one man, Wayne Rainey from Los Angeles, California, who's won his first Grand Prix, 28 years old, in his first 500cc Grand Prix championship year. Won it from the reigning world champion, Wayne Gardner, who made that one mistake at the S's that may well have cost him the race. I don't think it did, actually, because Rainey looked unbeatable to me today. C.Sarron in yet another third place, because the Frenchman has already finished, Christian C.Sarron, that is number 7 on the Yamaha. He's already finished third in West Germany and in Holland, so he's got nothing to be ashamed about. He looks pretty happy too. Fourth position, Neil Mackenzie, and that's the second highest place that Mackenzie's had. He finished third in America, and Rainey incidentally lapped everybody up to 13th place. Eddie Lawson in 6th position. Christian C.Sarron has the added pleasure of having put up the fastest lap and a new lap record, 93.5 miles an hour. And it's just as well that Wayne Rainey isn't Eddie Lawson, or he would have broken his collarbone. Look at him.